At some point, productivity stops being about tasks. It becomes about something quieter, something bigger, your life. Because if you really look at it, most of what you do every day is not just about finishing things, it's about becoming someone. Every habit you repeat, every task you prioritize, every distraction you allow, it's shaping a direction, slowly, subtly, almost invisibly. And that's the part we often ignore. We focus on doing more, optimizing more, getting better at managing our time, our energy, our systems. But we don't always stop to ask, where is all of this going? Because productivity by itself is neutral. It doesn't care what you're working toward. You can be incredibly productive and still feel disconnected from your own life. You can complete everything on your list and still feel like something is missing. That's not a failure of discipline, it's a misalignment between what you're doing and what actually matters to you. So maybe the real question isn't, how can I be more productive? Maybe it's, what is worth being productive for? Because once that becomes clear, everything else changes. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to chase every opportunity. You don't need to fill every hour. You just need to move consistently in a direction that feels honest. For you, that might be creating something meaningful, telling stories, building something that reflects how you see the world, or maybe it's something quieter, stability, freedom, growth. There's no universal answer, only a personal one. And once you start defining that, your productivity becomes simpler, not easier, but clearer. You begin to filter your actions differently, not by urgency, but by alignment. Does this move me closer to the life I want? If yes, you give it your attention. If not, you let it go or reduce its space. And slowly, your days start to feel less scattered, less reactive, more intentional. Not because you're doing less, but because you're doing what matters. This doesn't mean every day will feel meaningful. Some days will still feel routine. Some tasks will still feel necessary but uninspiring. That's part of it. But underneath all that, there's direction, and direction changes how everything feels. Because now you're not just completing tasks, you're building something, a body of work, a way of living, a version of yourself that didn't exist before. And that takes time, it takes patience, it takes showing up again and again, even when progress feels slow. But at least now, you know why you're doing it. So maybe this is where productivity leads, if you follow it far enough. Not to perfect systems, not to endless efficiency, but to clarity about what matters, about what doesn't, about the kind of life you're quietly trying to create. And once you have that clarity, you don't need to do more. You just need to stay aligned. Because in the end, productivity isn't about how much you get done, it's about whether what you're doing is building a life you actually want to live. And if it is, then even small steps are enough because they're taking you somewhere that matters.